God. Shalom.
Shalom.
And all praise to the Master Yahushua. Give him thanks and praise on this day. I want to thank the Master for all of you that made it out today. And those of the listening audience that is viewing the video with us or sharing into today's message, I want to thank you again as we return back on the air from Power Pack Ministries. For those of you that have been following up with us for a very long time, if you notice, we have a brand new sanctuary, and we have changed location. So we have a new place, and I give the Master thanks and praise for what he has done in the transition, bringing us here. But we still remain the same conscious of what we're doing. Again, if you want to reach us, I am Prophet Reggie from Power Pack Ministries, area code 813-317-6806. You can reach us at that number. Today I want to deal with a subject, and I will give you the subject matter in a few minutes, but I want to go ahead and just share a couple of scriptures, and then we will deal with the subject matter, and we will tie everything in so you can see where we're going with this. Women has been given a bad rep. And in religion, society in a whole, women has really been given a bad rep. And listening to the Spirit and meditating and looking through scriptures, I can see where there's a lot of bad representation has been given out to the women. And when you look at it, it's not fair. So you have to have a voice, someone to speak on their behalf, because it seems like James Brown, I believe it's James Brown that said it's a man's world. And it looked like it been that way for a long time. It's a man's world. And the women is just, been twisted in that somewhere along. But when we look at the role of a woman, she played a very significant role in the society. In our communities, she played a very significant role. First, she played a very important role in the home. Those of you that has been raised with a mother and a father, and those that has not been raised with a father, the role of a mother is tripled. You have a mother playing her role, then you have the mother playing the role of the father, then you have the mother playing the role of the educator. So she has several different roles that she played. She also played the role of the encourager. She got to make sure she encourages her children. So she plays a lot of different roles. Now, the man has a very significant role too, but a man's job is to cultivate his family and to make sure his family is strong, to make sure his family is on the right path and the right track. So his responsibility is to go out and be a provider for the household. Now, when we look at the last few years in this century, the role of a man has been switched pretty much. That the man become the nourisher or the role versus switch. Because the job system, the woman seems to be having a greater impact in the workforce, where she's getting good jobs. Society has changed a lot, where it used to be the man being the breadwinner, and now it seems like the women are the breadwinner. And so the job, the role is kind of switched around. And again, my wife said it best last night. She goes to work, and she is, being offered all these positions. She working longer hours and less recognitions. She come home, she's tired. Sometimes, in most cases, don't have the help of her husband or a suitable man, or capable man, a man that is going to be the provider. Sometimes a lot of households don't have that. So you have women, even when they're married sometimes, are taking care of the children and taking care of the husband and taking care of his role as well. So you have extra stress on the woman. That make it very hard for the submission part. Because men still feel, and I'm not saying that submitting should be demolished or being dismissed. I'm just saying it becomes harder when a woman is spending all of her money and extra monies and working and taking care of the household and taking care of everything else, cooking, cleaning, washing, and in some cases starching, and making sure the clothes is all prim and proper, and making sure the kids are lined up and have their school clothes ready for school, and still cleaning the house and cooking the food and preparing it and doing all of that. Then she becomes very tired. And then to be submissive, again, it puts her in a very predicament, put her in some kind of predicament, and she just sometimes rebellion comes forth. And that don't mean that she's a bad wife. She just means that she's a stressed wife or a stressed woman. Don't mean that she just is a bad person. Just mean that she's stressed out. So, but you still have men that are expecting a woman to perform her job and all of the other roles that I just mentioned, and expect her to be a very submissive and very glamorous and very romantic and sexual, prime already. And sometimes that's the last thing on her mind. She don't have sex on the mind. She has vacation on the mind. Right? Yes. She have, can somebody take me to the mall on my mind? She has Saks Avenue on her mind. She got something on her mind that is not related to what the man wants. Right? Yes. She got shopping. Yes. She got all that. Can somebody take me, how do you say, Carl gun? Take me away. And that's been a long time ago. But Carl gun, take me away. So she wants some of that primping and propping, and she wants a little massage and a toe rub and, shoulder squeeze. And sometimes you can't even find a man to do that. So again, that added stress and still can't get it released it's a terrible thing. So let's talk about how the world view women and what is happening with them, and how the role, what we expect and what we not getting. How, as men, how we can turn it around so we can get the best, the best out of our wives and the women that is around us. We can get the best out of them. How can we get the best out of them? By, as men, standing up and taking back your position. How are we going to do that? We can't do that by being macho man. Beating our chest like King Kong or something. Can't do that. We got to do it with love, and we got to do it with understanding. So today I want to talk to you about the particulars of scriptures. Let us look at John chapter 8, verse 10. John chapter 8 for a minute. And you would find it in the scriptures. Some of you know where John is. 10:32 in the scriptures. Let's go there. And let's take a look at that scripture, okay? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We're not looking for, the others. We're just looking for them. All right. In chapter 8 and verse 1, it said, and Yahushua went to the Mount of Olives, and at dawn he came again into the set apart place, and all the people were coming to him. And having sat down, he was teaching them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery, and having set her in the midst, they said to him, Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. Now, if you notice something, they did not bring the man. Let's check on that first. The man is the enticer or the hunter, responsible for the act that he performed on the woman. But he was set or let off scotch-free while the woman was accused of committing adultery. But she didn't commit adultery by herself.
Right.
She had somebody there with her, right? That is called man. But look at this. They grab a hold of the woman. So pretty much they are bringing her by force. I don't think she is volunteering for that. To go and to present herself in a volunteer position or volunteer way to say, hey, I'm committing adultery. So they are capturing her by the arm or whatever way they grab her and forcefully is bringing her to the master. Oh, we got her. Red-handedly. There is no excuse for her. We got her right there. So we want just punishment for her. She needs to die. Look at that. She's a mother. She is a wife. She is a sister, an auntie. She has all of that, but no one is concerned about that. The first thing they think is, let's stone her to death. She done it. She's guilty. Let's stone her to death. There is no mercy for her. No forgiveness for her. She has done the act. She is guilty of capital punishment. Stone her to death, as they say. Their capital punishment. Stone her to death. Wow. But they haven't done anything. They are sinless and they are innocent. They have not done anything in their life. They don't have no sin. They have done nothing wrong. They didn't even say to the master or to the woman, let's get some counseling. Did they offer her counseling? Did they offer her to make a confession and to ask for forgiveness? Did they give her any sort of grace or mercy? They haven't done any of that. They just snatch her. Let's go. We go in and you're going to be dead today. Oh, yeah. I don't care how many children you got. I don't care how many little ones you got. But you're going to die today. Those little ones going to see for themselves. Can you imagine? That's rough. When she didn't come in there act by herself. That's just really rough, man. That's just, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not, just according to the law, But the first thing you do when a person, the master who gave us grace so many times, has mercy upon us so many times, but we don't want to have mercy on nobody. Found them guilty, punish them to the highest punishment of the law. Where's the heart? Compassion. Let's see, because they're bringing them to the right judge. They're bringing them to the right judge because he showed no partiality, but he would judge right. And at the same time, he would make sure that those that are bringing accusation, in order to bring an accusation against somebody, you must have a clean slate. You can't be judging me for something you're doing and then expecting me to be punished while you get off doing the same thing. That wouldn't be fair, right? Today we're going to deal with this. We're going to address it because I think that somebody had to have a voice for the women. Somebody got to speak for them. Adam wasn't. He ran away. When a snake came by, Adam was not there to be found. He wasn't speaking on behalf of Kawhi. When he should have been there to defend his wife and to talk and talk to her, like some of the men. They out doing what they doing, and some of them, the wife, she already know what time you finish work. Trust me, a woman know what time you finish work. She know what time she know to the very second that you went to the clock and clock in. She know. She knows. She been timing it. Oh yeah, he just got off. Oh yeah. And then she still give you a great spirit. She goes like, well, okay, if he work overtime, he only work about a half hour overtime. She calculate that too. She know how long is overtime, and she know all that. So she gave him time for that. And then she gave him great spirit again. She said, okay, well, I know if he get caught in traffic, he got that amount of time. Okay, so she calculated the traffic. And she calculated the mileage from the job to the house. Oh, yeah. She already know what mileage he is traveling from the house to the job. He went over 500 miles on that. She was like 500 miles in one day. Where you been? Sarasota? And you work in Tampa? Where you been? So she want to know. Trust me, women know. They do know. They calculate everything. Okay? So by the time the man walk into the house, and then she already know. She know what clothes you left the house with. She know what smell you left the house with. She know everything. She know how your hair was fixed when you left the house. She know all that. And she got it on record.
She know what you smell
like. She know that, all of that. She knows everything about you. So guess what? The man must also know that she is a reasonable person in her thought pattern because she is giving you all this great spirit, but you giving her none. Let's check this out. Continue in the word. In verse 5 it says, and in the Torah of Moshe commanded us that such should be stoned. What then do you say? They asked the master Yehoshua. And this they said, trying him, so that they might accuse him. But Yehoshua, bending down, wrote on the ground with the finger, as though he did not hear them. But as they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, he who was without sin among you, let him be first to throw a stone at her. He said, wait a minute here. Let me put this back on you because I'm going to judge this matter here, but I want to make sure that you are not guilty of the same thing. Because they might have been one of the men that have brought her before him. It might have been one of the men she slept with. You see, you got to look through those things. He might have been standing up there talking about, yeah, I know I slept with her, but I know she ain't worthy because she got a husband. And if she can sleep with me, then she might sleep with somebody else. So stone her to death. After you've been satisfied, right. After you had your pleasure, now all of a sudden she's all of this. You want to stone her because you got somebody else in mind. How many people do you want to kill? And he might be thinking of the next wife he want to sleep with. But he's not, oh no, he's okay. He's a man. He's just a stud. And she's a hoe. And he's a stud. You see, isn't that unfair? Tell me it's not unfair. It's unfair. But we have a just judge. And the reason why I'm dealing with this is because a few weeks ago, I was watching some videos and I had seen some preachers, man, just rip through some women and rip through the women community. Speaking all sorts of, languages against a woman. And hard, I mean just hard preachers. They are preaching and, man, she got no rights. She got no voice. She can't say nothing. She got to go home and ask her husband. She can't say nothing in the church. She can't speak a word. One preacher said she can't even read the scriptures. Oh, yeah. He said because if she read it, she may have to break it down, and then she's a teacher. And she's not supposed to teach any men. Really? And some of those preachers are hard. We ain't talking about hard. They'll scare you. Because they look like gangsters. Oh yeah, they up there in the pulpit, they look like gangsters. I mean, the Bloods and the Crip got nothing on them. And brothers ready to cut down, tear down, rap down, punch the ground. They ready. It look like they're ready to fight. I'm talking about, I'm saying, what love is that? Would my Messiah act like this? No. But your father, who is the devil, will act like that and put you in the pulpit and then try to put down women and try to put them down so low. Man, I don't understand how there were women in those congregations. Come on now. You don't understand that. Talking about the women like they nothing. And I'm like, wow, somebody got to speak up and somebody got to talk about this thing. Let's continue. Throw a stone if you have no sin. And then down again, he wrote on the ground. And when they heard it, they being reproved by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning from the oldest one until the last. And Yahushua was left alone. And the woman standing in the middle. They put her in a circle. Everybody surrounded her, ready to throw stones at her. She got to be killed. Yahushua was there with her, the ultimate judge. And he bent down and he wrote something on the ground. People still trying to figure out what have he written on the ground. Still, nobody was able to tell us what he wrote. But when he got back up, they disappeared. They ran out today one by one. You know how they do it? Oh, they done it like this. Don't you see? You see them, right? And they're walking out. And you know, okay. And you see them go and grab their purse or grab their bag if it's a man, grab their scriptures. Where are you going? It's out. And they tiptoeing out. Fred Flintstone. Stop. They're out of here. So the master turned around and these people are gone, prophetess. They're out of here. Now, I heard some of the preachers and some of the things that they were saying that, according to the word, I agree with some of it. I don't agree with their attitude, and I don't agree with the way they bring out their messages, but there was a few things that I agree with, and we can lay the foundation here so we know where pastor stands on it and understand my thinking and my view on it. Yes, I don't believe in a woman pastor because I've never seen it in the Word. And a woman should not be a pastor of any assembly because the scripture breaks it down and said that one that is an overseer must be the husband of one wife. Unless you switch it around today, because now you get women that marry to women. And that still wouldn't work because the word speak against that. So that wouldn't sell. Then a woman being a bishop, that wouldn't work neither. Because it still go back to the bishop, husband of one wife. Same for the priest. So all of these titles would work. But some of the men that are putting the women down for those very titles got titles that is not working today neither. Like a apostle. Right. Apostle. Well, one of them tried to justify it and say the master come and spoke to him in his dream and made him an apostle. Because according to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, it says that an apostle is one that have an eyewitness of the Messiah, one that's seeing his death and resurrection. You had to be there. You had to be an eyewitness. That was, you see what I'm saying? An eyewitness. That means you could not say 3,000 years later that you're an eyewitness because you got it in a dream. Right. No, that would be a dream vision or something. That's not an eyewitness. But they have that, and they ready to stamp the women down, but they calling themselves an apostle. Okay, so if she's not supposed to be a pastor, which I understand that, if she's not supposed to be a bishop, I understand that. If she's not supposed to be, and they break it down, they went all the way down to a deacon. Boy, some of them was trampling on the women for deaconess. Well, I ain't never seen deaconess neither, but again. So, but they're breaking it down. They went as far as the prophetess, but they say prophetess they agree with, but they still didn't allow the prophetess to preach or teach. I'm like, okay, hold it here. Somebody got to speak for the voice of the women. And I'm not afraid of these preachers because they come out like sharks, like piranhas. Man, some of them challenging. Yeah, now let me tell you what they're doing. They are challenging other preachers to come to them and to battle out the scriptures. And they're going toe to toe with battles, calling each other names. I'm talking about some derogatory names that you would see rappers are battling out in the rap world. Yeah. Oh, I got a whole list of them that are on YouTube. A whole list of them. One of them called himself like he is it. Don't realize that even the very things that he's saying, he's incorrect with. Calling the master JC. Incorrect because there is no J in Hebrew. So again, preacher, you're wrong. Calling the master Lord, and you know that word is Baal. Again, you're wrong. Right. And I mean, he's talking like he got it. He got everything, and he is it. But you're wrong. And if you're wrong about these things, then how could you chastise somebody else? First, you got to know that there is no J in Hebrew. You got to also know that the Messiah is not a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Messiah, who most of you got in your ministry. You also got to know that the word talk about that you shouldn't have no graven image. And most of you that are fighting and arguing got crosses on the pulpit because I saw it. And the master said, have no graven image of things in heaven, things of earth, and underneath the earth or in the sea. You shouldn't have any graven image. But some of you that are arguing and fighting and having these challenges have crosses on the pulpit while they arguing and fighting. I don't understand. If you don't have the full role, then why are you trying to act like you You're the top honcho man in everything. So we're going to talk about this. Because you ought to hear me out. And women, you ought to know that you are not the scum of the earth. You ought to know that if the master have chosen a woman to bring forth, to come forth into this world, if he came through a woman, then women can't be that bad. Come on, somebody. How bad can she be when you want to lay up with her? How bad can she be when you want her to be your wife? Come on, she can't be that bad, right? But you making her out to be the devil. And I'm talking about in church. Oh, we don't have church here, we got temple. So let's clarify that for those of you that want to go back and view this, okay? And again, if you want to talk about me, my name is Pastor Reggie, or Prophet Reggie. Yeah, I claim that because the master has called me and ordained me for that. So if you want to challenge me on that, and again, I don't have my phone number like some of you got your phone numbers up here, but I can tell it to you. So I got no problem. The phone number that you can reach me at, come on, call me up if you do. 813-317-6806. When you want to have a discussion, we can talk. It's no problem. But you want to fight, then we fight somewhere else. Because I'm also a martial artist. So if you want to fight that way, then we can fight. So, let's talk about it. So let's finish this up and then we're going to go into something else because I know you're going to love this in a minute. Right now we threaded some waters right now, just lightly. Oh, we're getting ready to hit the real highway in a few minutes. All right? So look at this, where we are, verses 10. And Yahushua straightened up and seeing no one but the woman. Again, look at that. All the people split, vacate, run away, disappear. Who you got standing by you? The woman. The woman is standing there. She's always there. She will always be there. If you treat her right, she's going to stand by your side. And Yahushua straightening up. He said, seeing no one but the woman, said to her, woman, where are those accusers of yours? Did no one condemn you? And she said, no one, Master. And Yahushua said to her, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Yahushua said, if he is the master and she has sinned against him, because adultery is not only sinning against a man in the flesh, but it's also sinning against the master. And if the master is saying that, listen, I found no fault in you, that means she must have confessed her sins. Because for the master to find no fault in her, right, or didn't condemn her, he didn't, condemn her. It's not that she didn't have fault, sorry about it, but she was not condemned. They was condemning her. They found a fault, but they was condemning her and put her to death. The master he is not here to condemn, he's here to restore. He's here to bring us back to him. He's here to save us from our sin. He said he wished that none would perish. But they want you to be extinct from this world. They don't even want to give you a chance to repent. They don't want to see you no more. Get out of here. You are done with. We're going to go to the next one. The next piece of mother. We don't need you. Let me tell you something. There is a name that I'm about to share with you of those type of people. And I got to make sure that I say this right because it's a tongue twister. So I got to get this right. Misogynistic. Yes. These men and people is what you call misogynistic. Haters of women. So let's talk about it. So we can put it up so they can view it. So they know what we're talking about. Can somebody hold this for me? Oh, sister, you can't be up here.
I know.
What you doing up here? You can't be coming up all in the front of the pulpit. Huh? You want to be stoned to death? Waving at the camera and everything. So that word is what? Misogynistic. Right? And what does it say here? A person strongly prejudiced against women, deeply ingrained, misogynistic attitudes. Go ahead.
A person who hates, mistrusts, or mistreats women.
Okay? That is the type of attitude of that person. A misogynistic person, they hate women, they dislike, they mistrust, or they mistreat them. And you get that in religion too. That you find what you call some bullies, some bully preachers, or some bully pastors, or some misogynistic men who destroys the working of the female in the house of Yah, and say that they have no rights and they have no privilege but to sit down and shut their mouth, to sit down and say nothing until Massa say to speak, until this man who has gotten a word from Massa and act like Massa give them the privilege to speak, and then they could speak. Or if not, they're going to shut them down, they're going to beat them to the ground, they're going to speak nasty to them. Those are those misogynistic people and men that come in to tear down the women. But Master Yahushua said, I do not condemn you. Who has condemned you? Where are the men that brought in accusation against you? Thank you. We can put this aside for a minute. Just put it back here for a minute. They hate you. They have a spirit of hatred and control. Because if you are not doing what they want you to do as women, if you are not bowing down and calling them L-O-R-D, like they say Abraham, Sarah did to Abraham, calling him her L-O-R-D, because that's what they know. But that word should switch around to be master. But they saying, okay, if you're not bowing down and giving me everything that I need and taking care of my every need, but I want the men to listen to this, because I want them to understand something. Because the word has spoken and has spoken against you, spoke against you. So listen to that. Hear what the word said. Because some of the people that are talking in that way, and a lot of the men that have those views on women, they're not looking at themselves to the scriptures. So let's look at you to the scriptures, brothers. Let me see if I can find this where I'm looking at. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, let's go to 2 Thessalonians, and that is 11:55 in the scriptures.
What chapter?
$11.56, by the way. Thank you. Okay.
That's chapter 3.
Okay, it's. Let's look at it. Let's find, I think I did not write this. Then I wrote it down. Let's look at the verse that says, if a man don't work, he should not eat. Find that for me. Okay, what? 3 and 11?
Number 10.
3 and 10, yes, okay. So let's look at it right now. For even when we were with you, we command you this. If any man does not wish to work, neither let him eat. Isn't that what he says?
Yeah.
So how come a lot of brothers that have those views are still eating and not working? Come on, let's talk about it. Now, if the word said that a man that don't work should not eat, then all the brothers that don't have a job and the women that are working and have 2 or 3 jobs, should they not feed the man?
Nope.
Or should let him starve to death?
Starve to
Or
death.
put him out of the house? But he gonna say he got a right to stay in the house because he's a man. And he has a right to eat her food, but she can't speak in the assembly. But he can go to the assembly and not work to pay his tithes and his offering, to take care of the house that he's supposed to help with the upbuilding of the temple. He is not working. She is paying her tithes, she is paying her first fruits and giving the offering and taking care of everything else that he's supposed to take care of. But he can speak and she can't say nothing. How misogynistic is that? Hater of the women. But you telling me that she can do all that? Well, let's look at the word again. Because I do understand that some of you said that the woman should keep silent. I do understand all that. That a woman should not what? Speak. According to Thessalonians, right? Let's go. Is that what it? Or Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 14. Let's go there. 11, 17. Let's go there for a minute. Let's go over there for a minute. And let's check this out. Let's look around verse. So 14, let's look around 34, I believe. Let's go around 34. And hear what he said. Let's start with verse 33. For Elohim is not Elohim of disorder, but of peace, as in all the assemblies of the set apart ones. Let your women be silent in the assemblies, for they are not allowed to speak, but let them subject themselves, as the Torah also says. Let a woman not speak, or she must keep silent. But they miss something. Because I look at it in the King James Version. I look at it in the NIV, I believe. I look at it in the 6 and 11 King James Version. I looked at it in the Gordon's Bible. And I looked at it in several other translations. And I want you to see something. Because I just read it and nobody saw it just really. And it's been going on for a long time. Let me read it again. Right? Let's read it again. Let your women. Who's women?
Your woman.
Who's women? Your women. He didn't say all women. He didn't say women in Power Pack Ministries. He didn't say women around the world. He said let your women. The Corinthians women.
There you go.
That women.
Yep.
These women that was just, they were doing things that they weren't supposed to do. So he said, let these women Be silent. Are you still there, brother? Pastor, are you still there? Apostle, are you still there? Bishop, are you still there? Let's go. Let your women be silent. So if you want to let your women be silent, and these women that you got with you are foolish enough to know that they can't even read a throw a stone if you have no sin. And bending down again, he wrote on the ground. And when they heard it, said being reproved by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning from the oldest one until the last. And Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the middle. They put her in a circle. Everybody surrounded her, ready to throw stones at her. She got to be killed. Yahushua was there with her, the ultimate judge. And he bent down and he wrote something on the ground. People still trying to figure out what have he written on the ground. Still, nobody was able to tell us what he wrote. But when he got back up, they disappeared. They ran out today one by one. You know how they do it? Oh, they done it like this. Don't you see? You see them, right? And they walking out. And you know, okay. And you see them go and grab their purse or grab their bag if it's a man, grab their scriptures. Where you going? It's out. And they tiptoeing out. Fred Flintstone. Stop. They're out of here. So the master turned around and these people are gone, prophetess. They're out of here. Now, I heard some of the preachers and some of the things that they were saying that, I mean, according to the word, I agree with some of it. I don't agree with their attitude. And I don't agree with the way they bring out their messages. But there was a few things that I agree with, and we can lay the foundation here so we know where pastor stands on it and understand my thinking and my view on it. Yes, I don't believe in a woman pastor because I've never seen it in the word. And a woman should not be a pastor of any assembly because the scripture breaks it down and said that one that is an overseer must be the husband of one wife. Unless you switch it around today, because now you get women that marry to women. And that still wouldn't work because the word speaks against that. So that wouldn't sell. Then a woman being a bishop, that wouldn't work neither. Because it still go back to the bishop, husband of one wife. Same for the priest. So all of these titles wouldn't work. But some of the men that are putting the women down for those very titles got titles that is not working today neither. Like a apostle. Apostle. Well, one of them tried to justify it and say the master come and spoke to him in his dream and made him an apostle. Because according to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, it says that an apostle is one that have an eyewitness of the Messiah, one that's seeing his death and resurrection. You had to be there. You had to be an eyewitness. That was, you see what I'm saying? An eyewitness. That means you could not say 3,000 years later that you're an eyewitness because you got it in a dream. Right. No, that would be a dream vision or something. That's not an eyewitness. But they have that, and they ready to stamp the women down, but they calling themselves an apostle. Okay, so if she's not supposed to be a pastor, which I understand that, and she's not supposed to be a bishop, I understand that. If she's not supposed to be, and they break it down, they went all the way down to a deacon. Boy, some of them was trampling on the women for deaconess. Well, I ain't never seen deaconess neither, but again. So, but they're breaking it down. They went as far as the prophetess, but they say prophetess they agree with. But they still didn't allow the prophetess to preach or teach. I'm like, okay, hold it here. Somebody got to speak for the voice of the women. And I'm not afraid of these preachers because they come out like sharks, like piranhas. Man, some of them challenging. Yeah, now let me tell you what they're doing. They are challenging other preachers to come to them and to battle out the scriptures. And they're going toe to toe with battles, calling each other names. I'm talking about some derogatory names that you would see rappers are battling out in the rap world. Yeah. Oh, I got a whole list of them that are on YouTube. A whole list of them. One of them called himself like he is it. Don't realize that even the very things that he's saying, he's incorrect with. Calling the master JC. Incorrect because there is no J in Hebrew. So again, preacher, you're wrong. Calling the master Lord, and you know that that word is Baal. Again, you're wrong. Right. And I mean, you know, he's talking like he got it. He got everything, and he is it. But you're wrong. And if you're wrong about these things, then how could you chastise somebody else? First, you got to know that there is no J in Hebrew. You got to also know that the Messiah is not a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Messiah, who most of you got in your ministry. You also got to know that the word talk about that you shouldn't have no graven image. And most of you that are fighting and arguing got crosses on the pulpit because I saw it. And the master said, have no graven image of things in heaven, things of earth, and underneath the earth or in the sea. You shouldn't have any graven image. But some of you that are arguing and fighting and having these challenges have crosses on the pulpit while they arguing and fighting. I don't understand. If you don't have the full role, then why are you trying to act like you're the top honcho man in everything? So we're going to talk about this because you ought to hear me out. And women, you ought to know that you are not the scum of the earth. You ought to know that if the master have chosen a woman to bring forth, to come forth into this world, if he came through a woman, then women can't be that bad. Come on, somebody. How bad can she be when you want to lay up with her? How bad can she be when you want her to be your wife? Come on, she can't be that bad, right? But you making her out to be the devil. And I'm talking about in church. Oh, we don't have church here, we got temple. So let's clarify that for those of you that want to go back and view this, okay? And again, if you want to talk about me, my name is Pastor Reggie or Prophet Reggie. Yeah, I claim that because the master has called me and ordained me for that. So if you want to challenge me on that, and again, I don't have my phone number like some of you got your phone numbers up here, but I can tell it to you. So I got no problem. The phone number that you can reach me at, come on, call me up if you do. 813-317-6806. When you want to have a discussion, we can talk. It's no problem. But you want to fight, then we fight somewhere else. Because I'm also a martial artist. So if you want to fight that way, then we can fight. So, let's talk about it. So let's finish this up and then we're going to go into something else because I know you're going to love this in a minute. Right now we threaded some waters right now, just lightly. Oh, we're getting ready to hit the real highway in a few minutes. All right? So look at this, where we are, verses 10. And Yahushua straightening up, and seeing no one but the woman. Again, look at that. All the people split, vacate, run away, disappear. Who you got standing by you? The woman. The woman is standing there. She's always there. She will always be there. If you treat her right, she's going to stand by your side. And Yahushua straightening up. He said, seeing no one but the woman, said to her, woman, where are those accusers of yours? Did no one condemn you? And she said, no one, Master. And Yahushua said to her, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Yahushua said, if he is the master and she has sinned against him, because adultery is not only sinning against a man in the flesh, but it's also sinning against the master. And if the master is saying that, listen, I found no fault in you, that means she must have confessed her sins. Because for the master to find no fault in her, right, or did not condemn her, he didn't, condemned her. It's not that she did not fall, sorry about it, but she was not condemned. They was condemning her. They found the fault, but they was condemning her and put her to death. The master he is not here to condemn, he's here to restore. He's here to bring us back to him. He's here to save us from our sin. He said he wished that none would perish. But they want you to be extinct from this world. They don't even want to give you a chance to repent. They don't want to see you no more. Get out of here. You are done with. We're going to go to the next one. The next piece of mud. We don't need you. Let me tell you something. There is a name I'm about to share with you of those type of people. And I got to make sure that I say this right because it's a tongue twister. So I got to get this right. Misogynistic. Yes. These men and people is what you call misogynistic. Haters of women. So let's talk about it. So we can put it up so they can view it. So they know what we're talking about. Can somebody hold this for me? Well, sister, you can't be up here.
I know.
What you doing up here? You can't be coming up all in the front of the pulpit. Huh? You want to be stoned to death? Waving at the camera and everything. So that word is what? Misogynistic. Right? And what does it say here? A person strongly prejudiced against women, deeply ingrained, misogynistic attitudes. Go ahead.
A person who hates, mistrust, or mistreats women.
Okay? That is the type of attitude of that person. A misogynistic person, they hate women, they dislike, they mistrust, or they mistreat them. And you get that in religion too. That you find what you call some bullies, some bully preachers, or some bully pastors, or some misogynistic men who destroys the working of the female in the house of Yah, and say that they have no rights and they have no privilege but to sit down and shut their mouth, to sit down and say nothing until Massa say to speak, until this man who has gotten a word from Massa and act like Massa give them the privilege to speak, and then they could speak. Or if not, they're going to shut them down, they're going to beat them to the ground, they're going to speak nasty to them. Those are those misogynistic people and men that come in to tear down the women. But Master Yahushua said, I do not condemn you. I Why? Who has condemned you? Where are the men that brought in accusation against you? Thank you. We can put this aside for a minute. Just put it back here for a minute. They hate you. They have a spirit of hatred and control. Because if you are not doing what they want you to do as women, if you are not bowing down and calling them L-O-R-D, like they say Abraham, Sarah did to Abraham, calling him her L-O-R-D, because that's what they know. But that word should switch around to be master. But they saying, okay, if you're not bowing down and giving me everything that I need and taking care of my every need. But I want the men to listen to this, because I want them to understand something. Because the word has spoken and has spoken against you, spoke against you. So listen to that. Hear what the word said. Because some of the people that are talking in that way, and a lot of the men that have those views on women, they're not looking at themselves through the scriptures. So let's look at you through the scriptures, brothers. Let me see if I can find this where I'm looking at. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, let's go to 2 Thessalonians, and that is 11:55 in the scriptures.
What chapter?
$11.56, by the way. Okay.
That's chapter 3.
Okay, it's. Let's look at it. Let's find. I think I didn't write this. Then I wrote it down. Let's look at the verse that says, "If a man don't work, he should not eat." Find that for me. Okay, what? 3 and 11. 3 and 10. Yes. Okay. So let's look at it right now. For even when we were with you, we command you this: if any man does not wish to work, neither let him eat. Isn't that what he says? Yeah. So how come a lot of brothers that have those views are still eating and not working? Come on, let's talk about it. Now, if the word said that a man that don't work should not eat, then all the brothers that don't have a job and the women that are working and have 2 or 3 jobs, should they not feed the man? Nope. Or should let him starve to death? Or put him out of the house? But he gonna say he got a right to stay in the house because he's a man. And he has a right to eat her food, but she can't speak in the assembly. But he can go to the assembly and not work to pay his tithes and his offering, to take care of the house that he's supposed to help with the upbuilding of the temple. He is not working. She is paying her tithes, she is paying her first fruits and giving the offering and taking care of everything else that he's supposed to take care of. But he could speak and she can't say nothing. How misogynistic is that? Hater of the women. But you're telling me that she can do all that. Well, let's look at the word again. Because I do understand that some of you said that the woman should keep silent. I do understand all that. That a woman should not what? Speak. according to Thessalonians, right? Let's go. Is that what it? Or Corinthians? 1 Corinthians 14. Let's go there. 11, 17. Let's go there for a minute. Let's go over there for a minute. And let's check this out. Let's look around verse. So 14, let's look around 34, I believe. Let's go around 34. And hear what he said. Let's start with verse 33. For Elohim is not Elohim of disorder, but of peace, as in all the assemblies of the set apart ones. Let your women be silent in the assemblies, for they are not allowed to speak, but let them subject themselves, as the Torah also says. Let a woman not speak, or she must keep silent. But they miss something. Because I look at it in the King James Version. I look at it in the NIV, I believe. I look at it in the 6 and 11 King James Version. I looked at it in the Gordon's Bible. And I looked at it in several other translations. And I want you to see something. Because I just read it and nobody saw it just really. And it's been going on for a long time. Let me read it again. Huh? Let's read it again. Let your women. Who's women?
Your woman.
Who's women? Your women. He didn't say all women. He didn't say women in Power Pack Ministries. He didn't say women around the world. He said let your women. The Corinthians women.
There you go.
That women.
Yep.
These women that was just, they were doing things that they weren't supposed to do. So he said, let these women be silent. Are you still there, brother? Pastor, are you still there? Apostle, are you still there? Bishop, are you still there? Let's go. Let your women be silent. So if you want to let your women be silent, and these women that you got with you are foolish enough to know that they can't even read, it's not permitted for a woman to speak. Wow.
Is this Sharia?
Now, what is the truth of that? She just keeps silent when? Let's go. Let her keep silent when? In the assemblies, right? Right. So, wait a minute here. I know she's going to turn it up to you when she go home. Because she's going to blast you off and let you know you're chauvinistic. And she's going to let you have it. You say, I can't speak in the temple, but I know I can speak at home. And I know I wear the pants like you wear the pants. So come on, let's talk about it, Mr. Preacher. Let's talk about it, Mr. Apostle. Let's talk about it. You ain't have a job. Come on now, and I'm working. So who is putting the food on the table? Oh, I'm not asking. I'm not saying that for you women to be rebellious now. I'm just saying somebody got to speak for you, because they said that a woman should not speak in the house of Yah in the temple. I'm right now going to step on your toes, because I'm about to step in a place where you say she can't speak. I'm about to step on somebody's toes, because now you're going to try to make excuses. I know you're going to try to make excuses, but that's not what the word was saying. No, you said, and you heard it in the scriptures, because as far as what the scripture is concerned, the Bible, the scriptures don't talk like that. The Bible, your Bible, Biblos. That's good. See, Biblos speak and they change some things, because To them, men could do no wrong. Women is the adulterers, not the men. They could rape the women and get away with it. They could capture her from village and just pick her up and go with her. And she got no voice. She can't say nothing. She got to marry you. When you rape her, she got to marry you. And the woman got nothing. She really got nothing to say. Now, what kind of mess is that? That you could rape her and marry her and she got nothing to say. She still got to be silent. If that is not misogynistic, I don't know what is. Let's deal with it. I want you to turn with me to the book of Samuel. 1 Samuel. And let's go to about verse 10. It's 11, let's go to 1 Samuel there for a minute. Verse 1. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. So let's go there for a minute, because according to what we just read, a woman should keep silent when? In the assembly, right? Okay. All right. She got no right speaking. She's a woman. So in the assembly, she got no right speaking in the assembly. Is that correct? According to what you read? Okay. Let's go now. Help me, somebody.
And there was a certain man.
No. Let's go from verse. Let's go from verse 18. Come on up here, brother. Come on up here. Because I don't want to put something in that scripture right now. Because I got to print and press, and I might just print something in there. So I don't want to print nothing in there in my scriptures. Or I might have print something there and that he didn't have in his. Because. So let him read for a minute. Go ahead. Yeah, I go ahead.
All right, praise it. And she said, let your female servant find favor in your eyes.
Uh-huh.
And the woman went her way and ate, and her face was no more sad.
Come on now.
And they rose up early in the morning and worshipped before Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
And returned and came to their house at Ramah.
So she went home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She went home. Understand what's happening. She got up early, but she was not temple. Not yet. She at home. Go ahead.
Okay, and came to their house at Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah, his wife, and Yah remembered her. And it came to be at a turn of days that Hannah conceived and bore a son.
She conceived and bore a son. Let's go.
And called his name Shemuel.
Okay.
Because I have asked Yah for him. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to slaughter to Yahweh the yearly slaughtering and his vow. But Hannah did not go up.
Okay, she didn't go. Check this out.
For she said to her husband, when the child is weaned, then I shall take him, and he shall appear before Yah and remain forever there.
Okay.
And her husband Elkanah said to her, do what is good in your eyes. Remain until you have weaned him. Only let Yahweh establish his word, and the woman remained and nursed her son until he had weaned. And when she had weaned him, she took him with her, and 3 bulls and 1 ephah of flour, and a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of Yah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So 1 second. Let's now let's go to verse 7, because we're gonna back up here now, because I want you to see something.
Verse 7. And so he did year by year. When she went up to the house of Yah, she was provoked.
She was what?
Provoked.
Okay.
So that she wept and did not eat. And her husband Elkanah said to her, Hannah, why do you weep? Why do you not eat? And why is your heart sad? I am not bitter. Am I not better to you than 10 sons? And Hannah rose up after eating and drinking in shadow, while Eli the priest was sitting on the seat by the doorpost of the temple.
Wait a minute. Where is Eli?
On the doorpost.
On the doorpost where?
The temple.
At the hill wall at the temple, right? At the church.
Yeah.
Okay, well, their church. They're going to call it church.
Yeah.
So, they say that a woman shouldn't speak where?
In the house.
In the assembly. She got no voice.
Right.
Shut up. Zip up. Silent. Go ahead.
And she was bitter in life, and prayed to Yahweh and wept greatly. And she made a vow and said, O Yahweh, hosts, if you would indeed look on the affliction of your female servant, and remember me,
come on.
and not forget your female servant,
Come on.
but shall give your female servant a male child,
Come on.
then I shall give him to Yahweh all the days of his life, and let no razor come upon his head.
Go ahead.
And it came to be, as she kept on praying before Yah, that Eli was watching her mouth.
He was watching
Her mouth.
her mouth. Okay.
And Hannah spoke in her heart only. Her lips moved.
She was keeping silent like she's supposed to. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Hannah spoke in her heart only. Her lips moved. But her voice was not heard.
Okay.
So Eli thought she was drunk.
Why is he thinking that she is drunk? Because she is not speaking. Her mouth is moving, but no words are coming out. So he expects to hear something from her, right? So if he expects to hear something from her, where is he expecting it? Because where is he?
He's in the house.
He's in where?
In the house.
In the temple, right? She's not supposed to be speaking. So obviously somebody's messed up there, or something is wrong, because the priest is expecting her to speak.
Right.
Go ahead.
Then Eli said to her, how long are you going to be drunk?
Go ahead.
Put your wine away from you.
Come on.
And Hannah answered and said,
She did what?
She answered.
she answered,
In where?
in the temple.
She's not supposed to speak. So how could she answer if she's not supposed to speak and be silent?
No, she didn't. Her, she was talking in her heart.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So as she was praying, so she
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And Hannah answered and said, no, my master.
She answered and said no. That is, again, she's speaking to a priest and telling him no. She have the audacity to say no to the priest. She have the audacity to speak in the house. A woman too. What she think she doing? Go ahead.
I'm a woman in pain in spirit. And I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink.
Come on now.
But have poured out my being before Yahweh.
My.
Do not take your female servant for a daughter of Belial or a
Do
daughter.
not take your female daughter for one of those who is out there in the Christian world who pray to L-O-R-D.
All right now.
I am not one of them.
Not a daughter of foolishness.
I am not a daughter of Belial. I am not a daughter of those who call on that deity. So I got the right to pray to my Messiah. I got the right to teach my children. I got the right to share his word. I got the right to...
Yes, sir.
I'm in the temple. Come on, somebody.
For it is out of my great concern and provocation that I have spoken until now. And Eli answered and said, go in peace.
Come on, thank you. So, again, brothers, if it's such a law and it's so strict for entire assemblies that the woman should not speak but keep silent, but had a woman with a prophet in her stomach, she has a man child that she has asked the master to give to her, and he gave it to her. And she came to the temple and cried out. But a woman shouldn't speak because she should be silent. She should pray in silence. As a matter of fact, in some religious setting, she should not even seek in the same place where the men are seeking. She should be in another room. But she should be someplace else, because only men that should go before the master. But here she is in the temple before the priest. What is she doing before man? And in the temple before the priest. Let's look at this, brothers and sisters. I could go a whole lot more because I got a whole lot more I could go. I could show you misogynistic thinking all through the scriptures and how they put down women and say that the woman shouldn't do this and the woman can't do that. And I believe that even Amnon, because show you the hatred and where the hatred came from. Amnon, who had taken his sister Tamar, raped her, and then hated her. If that misogynistic, I don't know. Men that just hate women, that just hate everything about them, don't want to even hear them. She don't have a voice. She should shut up and put up. Oh yeah, when I say come here, woman, you should just come on and presto. You should just, like a clothespin. I squeeze the bottom and open, I'll squeeze the head and open the bottom. That's what they think. They think that's all what you're there for. But you can't praise the master. You can't teach about him. You can't talk about him. The master, Yahushua. But this woman here, she is talking to the master. She is ministering to him in his house. She is ministering to him. Take a costly ointment and she before the king. Don't she know she's not supposed to speak? Much as more to go touch him. Don't she know she's not supposed to touch a priest? But she's there pouring ointment on his feet and rubbing it with her hair. What is she doing? Don't you know this woman needs to be gone? She is by the well, and she's talking to the King of Kings, and she's speaking to the priest. Don't you know she don't have no right to talk to the King, and the King of Kings, and the priest of all priests, the high priest to besides? Master, you're talking to a woman. That's what the disciples have said. And what's wrong with that? Don't you have mothers and sisters? You don't talk to them? You have wives? You don't talk to them? Oh no, she shouldn't be. Because the only place she's not allowed to speak in the temple. But don't you know that there are women that had, there was ministries that was in the home. There were ministries in the home. There were also temples in the home. But you could speak there with men in it. Because I believe in Rhoda's house they were having a service going on. And Peter came to her house. So what is a man doing there? Because she's talking to the man too. What are they talking? All right, go ahead. Judges chapter 4. Let's go there. Because before we go there, let's hold it for a minute. Because let me go with my train of thought for a minute here. Because listen, women has been done wrong. So wrong by them chauvinistic men. But you have all of these women. She went in and said, come see a real man. Come and see a real man who tells me everything. They say, no, she's not evangelizing. Because there is no such thing as a woman evangelist. Okay. But she's talking of the good news of the master. Come see a man who tells me everything. Maybe she needs to go preach to some of those preachers. Maybe she needs to go talk to some of them and say, if the woman is not supposed to be speaking or saying anything, or she should be keeping silent, and she is not valuable, then why is this woman here at the tomb and get the message first from the Messiah? Got the word first from him to go back and to tell who? Peter and the other disciples. So you mean she got a word from the master to go tell the man something? Wait a minute. Are they not the body of Messiah? Or the temple of the Holy Spirit? So what is this woman coming to them to bring a word from the master? You mean that she got a word from heaven to bring to you, man? No, she can't give it to you because she's a woman. Oh, she's not preaching because she's not opening the scripture. She just read the scripture. His name is Yahushua. He just gave her a word. He is the word, brother. You didn't know that? And he gave her a message to bring to the men, to speak to them. and to tell them he has been risen. He showed up to the woman first before he showed up to the man. The women saw him first. And she got a word to bring back. Master Yahushua protected the women when the man was trying to treat them wrong. He protected them when the man was trying to say, oh, we caught her in adultery. He protected her. Oh, she shouldn't touch. But what about the woman that came up to the priest? Don't you know that women are not supposed to touch a priest? And she got an issue of blood. And she touching the master. And she touching him in an open public square. But she's not supposed to do that. Don't you know that a woman can come to a master no matter whether I heard a preacher said that if me and my wife, we looked at it together. Hear this lying demon spirit that spoke to this man. Lying devil, come out of his mouth and say, if the woman asked him, she was interviewing, she said to him, what if a woman had a word and a man was not saved and she was the last person to give him that word? What would you say? Would you say that she should not preach that word to him? He said she shouldn't. He said, I said, so he said, so she should let the man go to hell. He said she should let him. Wow. If that's not a demonic spirit speaking through that man, I don't know what. That is a lie from hell, and that is a spirit from the devil. It is not from our Father. It don't come from a Messiah. It comes from a lying place from hell. You telling me that you would like support and somebody come to help you with a blood transfusion, or somebody come to give you some oxygen and you refuse it because of the color of their skin or because of the sex of the body? You can't receive it. You got pride, and pride go before the fall. There is something demonic about you and your teaching that comes from the pit of hell. I was chauvinistic that way too when I first became Hebrew. A Hebrew Israelite. And I have a wife that has, a message and a prophetic word inside of her. But because I listened to this misogynistic viewpoint of man, I told her, I said, well, I ain't never seen it in the word, so I'm not going to be responsible. So for a while, she didn't preach for a while. Forgive me, baby. You can preach here anytime. Go tell those preachers, come and stone me. Because you can preach here anytime. You're welcome. And I repent. And I repented then, I repent now. You're telling me that she got a word and she can't bring it to save somebody's life because I'm chauvinistic, misogynistic, haters of women, dislikeful? No, I think some of them are envious. I think envy come into some of them. No, I don't agree with it. There are some things about women preachers that I don't agree with. Yeah. Because you're not supposed to be up there parading yourself. You're supposed to be dressed properly and make sure you adorn yourself properly. So if you're up there preaching and you got cleavage showing, now I'm telling you, you're going to have to cover yourself. You can't be up there showing all of that and expecting somebody to take a word from you, because men ain't taking a word from you. They're looking. They ain't listening. They're looking and lusting. So that's wrong. No, you got to cover yourself. And I don't agree with, women preaching and falling over the floor and, doing all the cartwheels and, you know what I'm saying? No. What underneath your clothes is supposed to stay underneath your clothes for you and you alone. Ain't nobody else got to see that. Okay? I want to bring my dinner back home with me. All right? All of this is not, you got to carry yourself in decency and in order. So, I understand all of that. Also understand that if you're flowing monthly period, then you shouldn't be up on the pulpit preaching. I understand that. I understand that much, because the master said, if you have an issue of blood, you shouldn't be doing all of that. Just like if the man have an open running soul, he shouldn't be preaching neither. Or if you got a one eye. Oh, they didn't read that neither. No blind preacher should be up here preaching. No one-eyed preacher or defect. As the word says. So, somebody has it wrong. But you, Judges. Chapter 4. Can you read it for me? Or a woman can't read it in the house. Please read it. Get in trouble with them. Tell them to call me. Because that man was blasting Creflo Dollar's wife and blasting everybody else for being a woman preacher. I'm saying, man, if I were Creflo Dollar, I would call you up and let you have something nice for the work. You don't call talking about my wife like that. No. Let's see what you got.
And when Ehud was dead, the children of Israel again did evil in the eyes of Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh, the sovereign of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor, and the commander of his army was Sirah, who was dwelling in chapter 4. Who was dwelling in right. And the children of Israel cried out to Yah because he had 900 chariots of iron. And for 20 years he harshly oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lepidah, was ruling Israel at that time. And she was dwelling under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethiel in the mountains of Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for right ruling. So if a woman can't lead, or if a woman don't have a word, and let me just say this because we understand our position. A real woman is not trying to be over her husband. A real woman know her position. A real woman know that she is submitted under her husband. I don't have no problem with that. But I do know that I've been called since I was 3 that I can remember. I do know that he chose me since I was a child. I do know that there's a word in my belly. I do know that I was the first teacher of my sons. I do know I'm the one that taught them how to tie their shoe and eat their food and put their clothes on and say their ABCs. I do know that. No woman is trying to be over the man, not this one.
Kneel down, woman.
I know my position. He playing. I do know my position. Nobody want to be the head. Not no real woman. We want to be under the submission because a man that is in authority the right way, not controlling, but in control the right way, he's supposed to be our protector, our provider, and our comforter. So what woman wouldn't want that from her man? No real woman want to be the head. I don't want to pay all these bills. I don't want to run no assembly. I don't want to do none of that. But you can't tell me that I can't teach a woman. Or I can't even say a word to a man. Because men want the woman to be quiet when they go wrong because you can't teach a woman how to be a woman. Right. You can't relate to us because you're not a woman. Just like we can't relate to you. So what if, my brothers, my pastor brothers, what if you allow the women to minister to the women in your congregation since you got a problem with the men being ministered to? Then why don't you go on and exit out of the building and let her teach the women then? Because women need to be taught by a woman, by a seasoned woman. Women need to know how to dress. Women need to know how to cover themselves. Women need to know how to conduct themselves. A man can't tell me how to act because he's not a woman. Now let's talk about these pants, because I do got on some pants. Because I know that some of you get hooked up with the word Torah, where Torah teaches us that we're not supposed
Now she want to preach. That's what I'm going to say. But the thing about, yeah.
But even with that pastor, it never said a woman never supposed to wear pants. It said a woman does not wear a man's clothing. So what are we wearing right now? Does not women wear long sleeves?
Oh yeah. We wear garments, and the garments. Is that a woman garment? But they're gonna say, well, if a man should wear something that look like a woman a man pants, then we shouldn't wear something looking like a woman garment, right? Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's a double standard. It's a real double standard. Hallelujah. Have you gotten something out of the word today? Come on, stand with me. Give him a praise. Let's stand. Yes. Give him a praise. He is worthy. Bless his name. He is worthy. I just had to, address this and deal with it because there's so much of it going on that is really ridiculing and putting down the women, and they feel, like second-class citizens, and they don't feel like they have a voice anymore, and they can't do this and can't do that, and all of the men and domination. You still running that video, brother? All right. Just want to, again, greet those that have been listening to the message. And I just want to thank the Master for all the strong women in the house. Okay, put your hands up. Yeah. Put your hands up, sisters. Hallelujah. All the strong women in the house. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's give him all praises, all honor today for what he has done here. And we're going to continue to walk circumspectly before the Master and with respect of everyone in their respectful places and address them with respect. We are not here to tear down one another. But the thing about it, I felt really, I don't know if I want to feel say bad, but I just felt some kind of way when I saw those preachers going at each other. Because I used to be a Christian preacher too. And I was like, is that the way are you really doing? That's what are you doing now? But then I remember what the Master says. It's a house divided by itself cannot stand. So Satan is fighting against his own self in those arenas. But there are still people that become casualty of that war. And the war that those pastors are raging is really, it's just horrendous because they bring in division around the body that they're supposed to be putting together. They are dividing. They are the ones that's gathering the sheep. But you see the thing about it, the time has come where no longer the teaching of Baal or the teaching of JC is the teaching that we ought to be, upholding. So the churches, of course, the infighting is going on so the true Messiah can come in and bring shalom. And the people can get the truth. And all the fighting they're doing is just for gain, greedy gain, battling against each other. They battling out to see who could be the greater peacock in the yard. So I just want to encourage you, whatever you do, do it with love. Because they may pick up our video too, and they may want to come up against me and say that I'm a false prophet. Go right ahead. Say what you say. But I'm telling you, you might just come up against a man of and the word of your tongue might cleave up to the roof of your mouth and never open again. So you want to try me, go ahead and do what you do. Feel free to do it. And I'm telling you, do not touch his anointing and do his prophet no harm. So it's just, it's chill. All right? Thank you again. Remember the phone number, area code 813-317-6806, Prophet Reggie. Hallelujah. Power back measure. All praise to the Master. Give him praise.